Good morning. Welcome to my home and welcome to my heart. Short people problems. So I have this new little tunic here. It's leopard skin. I feel a little bit like the Flintstones or a garden gnome. In my next life, I'm going to ask for about 6 more inches of height. Short people problems, first world problems. Anyway, joy. What's joy? Joy is the feeling of happiness for no apparent reason, just a joy in our hearts. And how do we cultivate joy? How do we find it? How do we feel it? How do we keep it? Big question, isn't it? It can be a choice. Like this morning I woke up and I got into bed late. I thought I was going to be able to really sleep in this morning, and then I remembered, oh, but I planned this other thing. And then thought, oh, I've now stayed up too late. So when I woke up first thing this morning, I thought, I really want to sleep longer. And then I remembered, oh, I can choose that. I can choose how I feel about things. And then I decided to put a smile on my face and I have got a personal spiritual practice that I do before I even get out of bed, and as I put my head on the pillow and as I wake up. So I did that personal spiritual practice, and I decided I'm going to feel joyful instead. And so I did. Now, that sounds like it could be fairly Pollyanna-ish, but it was truly a testimony, and I've done that before, and I know I've felt myself sinking into a place of sadness and a little bit more moroseness lately, and there's been some difficult things going on lately. Premature deaths of people close to me, and some worries about other things, and so we can slip into these spaces of sadness, or spaces of what I call in my writing focus space, where we're just kind of like, instead of walking the place with joy. So I was really happy to have joy be the second element, and this being Tuesday, and that I can talk about joy and invite joy into my own soul, even in spite of, or alongside of, not in spite of, but alongside of the other feelings. And so when the other feelings do come up, we can sit with them, but we don't have to stay in with them. We don't have to take up residence and build a condo and be there all the time. We can be there in those feelings. We can release them. We can process them, especially through our Qigong practice. The tapping is part of it. So let's begin to tap. We're going to tap above the eyebrows. And I'm going to tap and talk, but try and count 9 times. 9 is a number of completion. And that's a whole workshop. But if you want information about why we do things for a certain number of times, throw that into the comments, please. And I'll give you a more robust answer that I know. And there's probably huge more robustness, but I'll give you the answer that I understand at this moment in my life. So let's tap above the eyebrows. This is our gallbladder. No, this is our bladder meridian. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I was trying to fill you with lots of information, and so I was up in my head. And as I thought about that and I started to tap, my body said to me, just slow down and breathe. This is how our bodies talk to us. So I just want to share with you constantly my personal process so that you understand, oh, that's how tiny it is. Oh, that's my body talking to me. Underneath the eyes is our stomach meridian, where we may hold anxiety. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Underneath the collarbones and down the whole body. And we're going to clap 9 times. This activates the heart meridian, which is the one we're talking about today. And now we're going to begin to bounce. So the tapping and the bouncing sets up a bigger, more purposeful vibration. And as we bounce, we're feeling into the vibrations. We're bringing in vibrations. We're inviting vibrations. I'm looking at this thing. I look like a Bam Bam or Wilma on Flintstones. I will wear it again, but I'm going to enjoy my analogy myself. So as we bounce, we can bounce in joy like a child. I feel like the Flintstones today. Bounce, 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 bounce. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. Our practices, our personal spiritual practices, don't have to go into the realm of work. They can be joyful. Even in the space of sadness, grieving. I last week when my nephew passed away, and I woke up in the morning and I felt this flicker of joy. There was something in me that said, oh, you can't feel that right now. Corey just passed away. And I was like, how? Wow, that's really interesting feeling that came in. Observe things. That was an interesting feeling that part of me said, you're not allowed to feel joy right now because this happened. And it doesn't negate the fact that this happened, that this one thing happened, or you have a whole cacophony of things happening. We can find joy. Our bodies want to feel joy alongside of the other feelings. They want that joy. They want that happiness. They want that expansion that comes from these things. So as we bounce, we're releasing. And if we can bounce with happiness and with a smile on our face, in joy, we can release the extra energy of those sadnesses, those griefs, those angers, those disappointments, those depressions. We can release those pieces of them at the same time, because we're breathing in and out, right? As we breathe in the joy, and as we breathe out the extra energy of all those emotions. As we have felt them, they move through us. And I've said a number of times, we don't necessarily want to squash them and say, no, I'm not going to feel that. We do feel them and allow them to move through. There is a feeling, there is a connection with them, and there is a movement. So as we bounce, for me at this moment, it's easy to have the smile on my face. Allow our hands to just float up into the air. The wrists are soft, and the elbows are soft, and the shoulders are soft. Everything is soft, soft, soft. Chin is tucked in, and not so much tucked in, but risen up from the crown of our head. And we are bouncing, 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 bouncing. And we can release with a smile on our face. Feel into your body and feel what it's telling you, where it would like alignment. I just said my shoulders are up, my chin is up, my head is tipped back. Now I feel some alignment into my hips and into my left sacroiliac joint. I feel a release in there. And if you feel to yawn, that's wonderful. Allow those things to happen, because those are movements and those are releasings. Yawning also releases the congestion in ears. Arms are floating back down. And an easy childlike swing back and forth. It's easy to be childlike when these little puppies are bouncing all over the place in here. And sitting inside the food. Don't you be pooping in there. Go poop somewhere else. Shoo. It's all right. Swinging back and forth in this childlike bounce. It's not childish, it's childlike. They're different. And breathing. Sorry, I'm watching puppies too. Getting distracted. As we breathe in, I'm going to bounce some more because I just abruptly stopped that. And it was like a big halt in my body. I'm going to use my breath. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And now I'm going to invite myself to come into a quiet stillness off the exhale. Ah, there. When I invite myself to come into quiet stillness off of the exhale, then I feel a buoyancy in my hands. They open up and they lift away from my body. And I just feel this beautiful white aura. When I close my eyes, I can feel that my whole body has and yours might be a different color. You might feel this, you might not. I'm just sharing with you what I feel. This isn't a test. You can open yourself to all possibilities that you might feel. This is simply what I feel at this moment. I feel a buoyancy between my arms and my body. I feel like my palms have something in them, so there's a pressure in there. I feel my fingertips tingling. It feels delightful. It feels supportive. As we bring our hands towards the lower dantian now, dantian is our navel area. Women, your right hand will be next to your navel. Men, your left hand will be next to your navel. So I bring my hands into the lower dantian area. We focus on the Qi. Qi is energy with life force, intelligence, and a blueprint for our soul, mind, body, and spirit. Our Qi is activated by our intention. So now we set our intention for our practice today. We call upon the energy of our master. And your master is whomever you derive wisdom, knowledge, support, love. My vision of my master holds everything in the universe in the perfection of their hands. And so I can put complete trust in the energy of my master. And I say, dear master, with deep gratitude, deep gratitude for all that I have experienced thus far in my life from thee, I set the intention for my practice today to be able to access the wisdom of the universe through thee, the power of thy hand. As I work with people, different people on different formats today, I wish to access thy power, to be able to help them to feel thy power as well. And now we give the password. I am in the universe. The universe is in my body. The universe and I combine together as one. And the word combine suggests that I am accessing powers and information and wisdom beyond my own. And in that space, I'm connecting with this higher wisdom to learn it and to also receive it and have it come through me to others. There's always an acknowledgement that it's coming to me, it's not a creation of me. And with that password, I feel like I step into the space of the unconditional love of the universe. That beautiful emptiness that holds all possibility. And the movement today that we're practicing is the second movement of the 5 healing elements. It is the breathing of the universe. As we breathe in, we bend our knees. We lead with our elbows and allow our hands to float out from our bodies. As we breathe out, we're now breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. We stretch up again into the universe, opening our chest. As we breathe in. And we breathe out. Step into your limousine so that you can be an observer now of everything that comes through your mind and feeling into your body as you breathe in. Breathe in the feeling of joy. As we breathe out, we release any extra energy that is ready to return to the universe. As we breathe in, observe your body, observe what it feels. Receive joy as we breathe in. Receive releasing as we breathe out. I feel so much joy. And I just observed myself. My mind was wandering off into some planning for horse spaces. Just observed that and brought myself back and realized, oh, right, I'm practicing. Receiving joy. Receiving joy, beautiful joy. Again, my mind has wandered off now, coming back into the joy. I feel joy. You might be able to tell that I'm a little distracted this morning. And so that's just what it is. Just bring ourselves back to the practice. We'll bring our hands back to the lower dantian. Feeling in our navel. right out front, in front of our navel right now. The chi spinning faster and faster to the right. And as the chi spins faster and faster to the right, it condenses into Dan. Dan is medicine, the medicine of joy. And we invite that medicine, that small little ball of medicine energy, into our lower dantian, and it sits and settles down deep into our torso. And it always feels like it has a song to it, to me. For me, the song just seems to be Om. And it sits there and vibrates and sends out the chi, that chi with intelligence that's activated by our intention. Now we will harvest our chi, rubbing our hands together, tapping interlocking our fingers, hands together, and on the either side of the nose, we're going to run our hands on the either side of our nose, up to the hairline, around the hairline, down to the chin. This forms a heart shape. Joy and love. And as we do this, I invite you to say to yourself out loud, I love you, and use your own name. I love you, Roxy. Use your own name. Going to massage our ears. Step forward a little bit. You're just going to unfold your ear. Run your fingers all down the exterior, the outside fold, and give a little tug on that lobe. The earlobe is the end of the anger piece. So it's our heart meridians, our heart system that we're working with today. It's fire from the earth. The color is red. The feeling, the expanding feeling that we're working with is joy. We bring in the feeling of joy. The contracting feeling is the one of hatred. When we find things and we say, oh, I hate this, I hate that, that's a strong emotion. It settles in our heart and it contracts it. So as we feel those feelings of hatred, feel them through. Oh, what is it that I hate about that? Oh, I hate that because I feel vulnerable, or I feel this, or I feel that because of this action, and therefore I hate it. And as we feel that feeling of hatred, and we bounce, we're going to tap again now. What is it I hate about that? Receive the information, make any changes that we may need to, because we've received the information. Maybe we set a boundary. Maybe we change our actions. We can change our thoughts. And invite in the feeling of joy. Underneath our left arm, armpit, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the right arm. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The left arm underneath and tapping down. And the right arm underneath and tapping down. And tapping on the kidneys. Reach back and tap those kidneys. These puppies are so exuberant. And tapping on the outside, down to the sacrum now. Sacrum is down lower. And the outsides of the hips. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And tapping on the groin. And down to the knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the backs of the knees. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And on either side of the left knee, we're opening up channels through our knees down into the universe. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And up in the toes and down to the heels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today, your little garden gnome. I love you. I appreciate you. I will see you again soon.